Hi everyone, I'm going to share a bit today on what grounds me in this life. This life of chaos, of unrest, of inequality, of fake news, of the mind, of thoughts, feelings, emotions, our internal realities, our external realities. What is the one point that grounds me within all of this, everything going on every single day? Doesn't matter if it's a personal point, an external point, an existential point, if it is a political point, if it is a human social point. Doesn't matter what it is. What grounds me within everything? What grounds me within, let's say I'm watching a video on politics, and the politics is obviously advertising war, conflict, discrimination. Politics is obviously supporting inequality, disadvantage. When economics and politics are joined together, when everything is going to shit basically, and when people are fighting amongst each other based on skin color, when people are fighting amongst each other based on differences, and I'm within all of this, and everything is happening all the time in my own country, in other countries. And when I'm alone with myself, my relationship with my partner, with my child, with the people around me, my relationship with everything I do and have to do. And sometimes it gets so chaotic, it gets intense with everything you have to consider and look at and direct, and you know it all can become a lot. Now, when things become a lot, then I have this one point that always grounds me. Doesn't matter if I react, doesn't matter if I get angry, doesn't matter if I get in conflict or in a fight. I stop those points and I ground myself with this one point. And this one point is principle. Now, one thing I know for certain is that when I was young and growing up, I didn't grow up with principles. I grew up with moralities. I grew up with rights and wrongs. I grew up with good and bad. I didn't grow up with principle. And since I joined Destiny and I've learned what principle means and to stand by principle with integrity within yourself, this has grounded me within everything happening. Where I previously would have fallen and become self-destructive or destructive, where I would have participated in agendas, propagandas, where I would have given into um, temptations, I now have this one point, which is principle. And my principle is to always live what is best for all. So when people gossip to you, when the news gossips to you, when newspapers are gossiping, when politicians are gossiping, when economists are gossiping, when everything is gossiping and you have all this information, when you are gossiping, when all of these things are happening and you're being influenced, just take a moment to stop. Embrace your principle, which is what? Which is living what is best for all life. Ask yourself, in everything going on, is this best for all life? Yes or no? If it's no, you stop. You don't even give it a little bit of thought or attention, and you fall back to principle. How am I living what is best for all? Who am I? Not about being influenced by everything happening around you, and to always bring it back to self with the principle of living what's best for all life. For example, in South Africa currently, racist tensions are heightened through politicians, through news, through newspapers, through uh, fear mongers on the internet, and even though I see all of this, who am I? And I go back to my principle. I don't give into that fear or that paranoia or whatever they're advertising, and I fall back to principle. When I investigate conspiracy theories of the world ending, of aliens coming, of the world not being round, of there being aliens living in the earth, about the government revealing a big secret soon, about global change happening soon, about New World Order, the Illuminati, name all of it. And I even take it further to, okay, I've watched all of this, I've seen all of this. What can I do with it? is there any way to direct this knowledge information now to what's best for all life? And when I find a self-honest answer for myself, and I see what can I actually do now and affect now, I come back to myself, back to reality, the real reality that I can see, touch, smell, hear, and that is here. And I focus on how can I live what's best for all. And many times it comes to not participating in these external things as long as I am not clear within myself, within my direct reality yet. Then I should not be focusing on these external points. And that's my self-honest point. And then I see, okay, best for all is for me to focus on me, to better myself, to improve myself, to stop my abusive patterns, my habits, my patterns that's not best for all, and to correct myself and to become my best potential within my environment for myself. And this is how my principle always grounds me, the principle I stand by. And to stand with it with an integrity, not within, oh, I have a fear now, so I'm going to give into the fear. No, that's going against your integrity of your principle. And I fall back to my principle. And I know and I can see that if everyone in the world has this principle, the same principle of living what's best for all life, understanding oneness and equality within its totality as a universal law, then, the world would not be in the state it is, because we would all always take everything back to ourselves and living what's best for all, instead of giving into the fears, giving into the propagandas, giving into the lies and deceit that's going on in this world, and to focus on reality, what is best for all life, to see your neighbor, to love thy neighbor as thyself, to give as you would like to receive, all these points that is involved in your principle, to always focus on that and not to give into the mainstream fear mongering and propagandas and, all the points that they want to divide and conquer with, because they're trying, but it has to be us that gives into it for it to work. So yeah, I just wanted to share that this is how I ground myself in this life, and with what is currently here in this life, is to always stand by my principle being what's best for all life, to live and do in thought, word, and deed what is best for all life. I hope this supports. Thank you very much.